Hi, I'm Marc, and on this channel I talk about Brexit and UK politics. Since Brexit, trade on both sides of the English Channel has complained about too much bureaucracy. However, Britain could reduce the hurdles through talks with the EU, says German Finance Minister Lindner. So Federal Finance Minister Christian Lindner has offered the United Kingdom a closer economic relationship with the EU. If you want to strengthen your trade relations with the EU, give us a call. That's what Lindner told the BBC on the sidelines of the annual meeting of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and the World Bank in Marrakesh, with a view to the British government. London has a standing invitation for talks with the EU on how trade hurdles could be reduced. We really value the United Kingdom and its values, its people, said the Liberal leader. He would therefore welcome more intensive trade relations. Great Britain left the EU at the end of January 2020 and also left the EU Customs Union and the EU internal market in January 2021. Despite a far-reaching trade agreement, businesses on both sides of the English Channel have since complained about an enormous increase in bureaucracy, which makes it more difficult to deploy workers, for example. There are now tariffs in some industries. Great Britain fell out of the top 10 of Germany's foreign trade partners, and that was not unexpected. And many Brits are disappointed with Brexit. There have been a few challenges in the everyday life of German companies since Brexit, said Lindner. I don't think the UK will benefit from Brexit, he said. If Great Britain decides on a special economic relationship with the EU and its internal market, it's warmly invited. But at the moment, Britain has chosen its own path, and that is why there are these obstacles in everyday life. I regret this. Well, Christian Lindner is right on a few points. On the first thing, it's quite interesting that a liberal leader in Germany helps a little bit in the campaign of the Social Democrats in Great Britain. But that's just a side story here. But of course, if Britain wants to have closer ties to the EU, that is possible. But there are conditions on that. And nobody in the current British government wants to have those conditions. And so we all know there's nothing going to happen. And he's a minister, so he had to be diplomatic because the British values at the moment, as you can see from many of my videos with regards to human rights, etc., are not what they were. So, but he has to be diplomatic when he's at a meeting of the World Bank and the IMF. So I guess that's it. Because Christian Lindner is quite an intelligent guy. It's not my party, by the way. But he is also stirring up our current government a lot. But maybe the high praising was not only diplomatic, but also still some effects of the shock of the last recent two state elections we had here, where Lindner's party was kicked out of one parliament and barely made it into the other. And we have proportional representation here. So it was not first past the post, where it's easy not to be in. Nevertheless, there will be a lot of conditions. And that's the same thing I always say about Keir Starmer when he comes up with this. We want closer ties to the EU, but he never says how he wants to do it. He wants to wait until the review of the TCA, but this review of the TCA will not be a complete opening of the TCA. The EU just wants to have a look at it. Is there anything that's not working as intended? But honestly, most of it, of course, is working as intended and is working as expected, because Britain is a third country now. And so third country rules apply that are a little bit eased by the TCA, but not like membership. That's impossible. And so there are some expectations brought up here that I cannot follow, to be honest. And as long as Labour doesn't give any clearance of what they mean with their closer ties to the EU, which they won't do, because they want to win the next election. And if they go too much into detail, people won't like that and they won't vote for them. So that's why I understand why they're doing this. I'm still angry on Labour for lacking those points. But I don't expect them to do that before the election. I don't expect them to say anything in detail before Starmer sits in number 10. That's the point. Nevertheless, was a nice episode from Christian Lindner and what's going on in our government at the moment. Lindner is involved a lot in that. So let's put it that way. But yes, he's right. With Brexit will not work, he is absolutely right. Because Brexit was a failure from the start. They only lied to the people about the Brexit benefits. We all know that. But give us a call is a nice one. Usually I would have expected, don't call us, we call you. But in this case, it's fine. And if you want to know more about Brexit or UK politics, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.